A Japanese teenager is killed saving 2 girls and finds himself reincarnated in another world as Kane von Silford, 3-year-old son of a noble family with his memories intact. He meets his father Garm, mother Sarah, maid Sylvia and older sister Riani. He also meets Garm's first wife, Maria, and much older half-brothers Jin and Alec. Due to his sudden increase in intelligence, he is allowed to study and begins using magic in secret. Riani tutors him on many subjects. 2 years later, Kane is ready for baptism and learns there are 7 gods in the Marineford faith. During his baptism, all 7 gods inform him since he died performing a good deed, he will receive blessings from all of them. Kane realizes with their blessings he has instantly become the strongest, smartest, most skilled human alive. His family are thrilled, but worried governments may see him as a threat, so Kane keeps his powers hidden. At his baptism party, Kane decides to become an adventurer so he can travel the world helping people. In secret, the gods reveal they need Kane to become the strongest living creature by his 16th birthday to prevent a great evil. Garm hires Kane 2D rank adventurers as tutors, swordswoman Millie and elven magician Nina. They struggle to teach him as Kane has level 10 blessings from the gods of war and magic and is superior in skill to the level 3 Millie and Nina already. As he is only lacking in practical experience, they take him to the wilderness where he easily hunts his first monsters and immediately masters every new spell Nina shows him. Kane finds hunting just a few monsters catapults him straight to skill level 8 as one of his blessings gives him 100 times more experience points than normal. While getting permission from guild receptionist Ruddy for Kane to hunt stronger monsters, C-rank adventurer Cross mocks them for their babysitting quest, so Kane beats him up. 3 years later, Kane is 8 and Nina and Millie's employment contract expires, so Kane hunts dangerous monsters to craft them valuable thank you gifts, his flashy magic causing a panic in the city. Millie and Nina are touched by the gifts, magic bags that mimic Kane's item storage skill, which are both useful and valuable. Later, Garm thoroughly lectures Kane for scaring the citizens. 2 years later, Kane is 10 and a seasoned adventurer. As a noble, he is sent to the royal capital for his debut into society. On the way, he kills monsters attacking a carriage carrying Duke Eric's daughter Lady Silk and royal princess Telescha, who both develop crushes on Kane. As they are also on their way to debut, they insist Kane share their carriage. Stopping for the night, the girls overrule Garm's objections and force Kane to sleep in their room every night for the week-long journey. Kane is so on edge he doesn't sleep all week. Reaching the capital, Kane is able to return Telescha's dead soldiers, earning gratitude from Vice Captain Dame. Telescha's father, King Rex, rewards Kane with 10 platinum coins, a mansion, and promotes him to Baron despite the objections of some nobles, particularly Marquis Corgino. In private, Rex and Eric insist Kane become engaged to both Telescha and Silk. Having shared bedrooms, Kane is now the only man they can marry without scandal. Pressured from all sides, Kane agrees to the engagements. With the formalities over, Rex, Eric, and even Garm are able to freely lecture Kane for his scandalous, outrageous behavior. Kane consults the gods about his levels, which are fast approaching demigod. But the gods are also starved of entertainment. They dismiss his concerns and ask him to introduce Japanese entertainments to the world. Kane visits Parma, a cat girl he knew since childhood who works at her uncle Tamani's store. Tamani's agrees to produce a reversi board game through his trading company. By signing a contract before Panom, god of commerce, their business deal is guaranteed for 3 years. The debut ceremony arrives, and since their engagements are still secret, Kane has to pretend to meet Silk and Telescha for the first time. Kane gifts Rex with an extravagant reversi board Rex is delighted with. Marquis Corgino's bratty son, Habit, attempts to charm Silk, but when she ignores him, he and his friends try and fail to bully Kane with their level 1 magic spells. Fed up, Silk reveals Kane is a full baron, forcing Habit and his friends, mere Viscount's sons, to bow and apologize. To keep everything secret, Silk and Telescha extort romantic dates from Kane, overheard by Rex and Eric, who once again lecture Kane for being a philandering womanizer. Kane visits his new mansion and finds it run down and neglected, yet with his magic it is cleaned and repaired in seconds. He hires Sylvia, 3 maids, and a butler named Colin. Kane visits his parents as his older half-brothers Jin and Alec are also visiting. While showing them his mansion, Garm advises Kane to throw a party for other nobles to acknowledge his new baron title. Kane decides to craft fine glassware as gifts, along with Japanese food and alcohol. Rex insists on attending with Telescha, though it is unusual for royals to do so. The nobles are surprised. Kane keeps a taxidermy Calamity-class red dragon as a trophy. Rex is particularly fond of the glasses and the alcohol. Marquis Corgino arrives late, insults everyone, criticizes the food, and demands he be given all the glassware as a gift. Kane allows him to do so before revealing Rex's presence, who is furious, causing Corgino to flee in disgrace. Kane doesn't escape either, as Rex, realizing Kane used him as a pawn against Corgino, loudly lectures him for 2 hours on how a baron, son-in-law, should properly treat a king, father-in-law. Dame asks Kane to attend a knight's training session. Knight Captain and Elvish Viscountess Tijuana asks to duel him, but when Kane defeats her, she proposes marriage and drags a bewildered Kane to discuss it with Rex. Rex is furious, as Tijuana is also the Elvish princess. Rex is forced to agree as long as Tijuana's father, Duke Layson, agrees. Kane's growing power worries Rex, so Magna suggests they test him. Tijuana begins demanding duels every day, which also increases Kane's skills even further. Kane is summoned by Rex, Eric, Garm, Dame and Magna and presented with a magician's grimoire, written by Yuya Esfort, first king and Rex's ancestor. Kane reads it easily, confirming Rex's suspicions as it is written in Yuya's unknown language, Japanese. Kane is forced to admit to being a reincarnation from Japan blessed by all 7 gods, but insists on keeping this secret from the public and maintaining his current lifestyle, which Rex accepts. Tijuana receives Layson's permission to marry Kane. Rex feels confident Kane will make a fine future king of Esfort. Rex decides not to lecture Kane. He is instead lectured by Telestia and Silk on recklessly seducing every woman he meets. Kane reaches 12 years old and registers at the Adventurers Guild. Secretary Resha issues his G-rank license. Other adventurers cause trouble for Resha, but they are scared away by a rank adventurer, Claude. Claude advises Kane to join a party, and then is dragged away by his wife Lena. Kane takes a job slaying goblins but is found by Tijuana, who insists on joining him. Tijuana slays the goblins while Kane deals with green lizards nearby, unintentionally stealing a quest from Millie and Nina. Vice Guild Master Cedric accuses Kane of lying about slaying the lizards himself. Kane is saved by Guild Master Eden, Tijuana's older brother. Fully aware of Kane's power, Eden promotes him directly to a rank so he can assign him the most dangerous quests. Cedric gives a groveling apology, now aware Kane is a baron. The gods watch this with some amusement but need Kane to be even stronger, as the dark god Eren will soon awaken to destroy the world. To this end they decide he needs an instructor and have just the one in mind. Telestia and Silk learn Kane took Tijuana on a date and force him to grovel for their forgiveness. Kane attends the entrance exam for Royal Academy. After a written test, Kane accidentally destroys the magic safety barrier during the magic exam, then duels Claude to a draw during the swordsmanship exam. Rex lectures Kane for destroying the expensive barrier, and for obliviously taking the exam meant for commoners when he was supposed to take the nobles exam. Kane learns he got a perfect score and has to give the welcoming speech. At the entrance ceremony, after Kane's speech, Rex gives a speech that blatantly warns Kane not to cause more trouble. During homeroom with instructor Elka, Kane chooses to study adventuring, magic and magic items. Telestia chooses internal affairs, planning to manage Kane's noble domain, while Silk chooses commerce to manage Kane's business affairs, embarrassing him. Kane spots Habit trying to bully Parma into quitting school so he can have her spot in a class, only to flee when he realizes she is Kane's childhood friend. Kane suspects he will soon be lectured when Telestia and Silk become friends with Parma. A psychic message directs Kane to the library, where he is teleported away by a man who knows Kane is a reincarnation, and that his original name was Shina Kazuya. The man is Yuya Hirasawa, aka King Yuya Esfort. Yuya reveals he created his own world, Fabnail, becoming its new god of creation. Yuya has agreed to train Kane and hints Eren has links to Kane's former life. He dumps Kane in the wilderness thousands of miles away, but warns in this world monsters are much tougher. Plus, time moves differently, so Kane has years of time while barely any time will pass in Esfort. Kane rescues a Fenrir puppy he names Haku, and they survive 4 brutal years before making it back to Yuya's home. Yuya reveals Eren was god of amusement, but he became corrupted and set kingdoms against each other in death games to amuse himself. Yuya also reveals when he was reincarnated from Japan, so were 2 others, Seiya and Megumi, Kane's parents, who died in a car crash. They became Yuya's precious friends but were killed fighting Eren. Kane is sent to train as a warrior with the elf Durain. After another year, Kane defeats Durain and is returned to Esfort with Haku and Durain's pet dragon Jin. Yuya gives him a sword for Rex. Kane tearfully reunites with Telestia and Silk after 5 years apart, only to be viciously lectured since from their perspective he was missing for almost a week. Rex is astounded at Kane's story but accepts it as true after seeing Yuya's katana, which he lets Kane keep. Eric reminds Kane he never finished the bandit capture quest needed to promote him to a rank, and having been missing for 7 days, the time limit will soon expire. Kane captures the bandits, also rescuing Millie and Nina, who had been escorting Sabino's, Parma's father and Tamani's brother. Millie and Nina are shocked Kane is now a rank and a baron. At the guild, Kane meets Claude, who reveals Millie is his sister. Realizing Kane is also an academy student, Claude, Lena, Millie and Nina attend as guest lecturers to help Kane. But notice Kane doesn't fit in with the other students at all. They try to help Kane stand out to become popular but fail spectacularly. Frustrated at Claude's idiocy, Kane rampages through the monster-filled forest, unintentionally frightening the kingdom into thinking a demon lord has appeared and earning his most serious lecture yet from both Rex and Garm. Back in the forest, Kane's rampage dislodges a crystal from its hiding place, which is eaten by a dragon, which is then possessed by a fragment of the returning Eren. Kane's class begin contracting with monsters. Kane's instructor Grat naively lets Kane try and ends up summoning Seth, a prince of hell. Kane panics until Seth sees Kane's magic level and happily grovels to become Kane's contracted servant. Rex is furious as Seth could have destroyed the kingdom. He demands to see Kane's full magic status, only to find his magic capacity is immeasurable, and Kane now possesses the title demigod. Unsure what else to do, Rex makes Kane a viscount and gifts him a whole village to manage. If he does so successfully, he will also publicly announce his engagements to Telestia and Silk. Kane's older brother Jin informs Kane monsters near the forest are becoming more savage to humans, so he asks Kane to investigate the cause. Kane slays many monsters but cannot identify the source of the increased danger. Seth can only sense a being of unimaginable power drawing monsters to itself, and sends his demon servant for Heavenly King Dalmatia to investigate. Their intrusion prompts Eren to send thousands of high-level monsters to rampage against the kingdom. Realizing Eren is responsible, Kane, Seth and Dalmatia rush to confront him, leaving Kane's friends protecting the city. Kane's friends keep the monsters confined to the forest. Kane locates the Eren-possessed dragon, who immediately knows he is the god's champion, and son of Seiya and Megumi. Despite only being partially resurrected, Eren keeps Kane on the defensive and almost kills Haku and Jin. Kane activates his overload ability and obliterates Eren, as well as the forest and mountain behind him. Esfort is saved, but Rex is furious as Overload's golden light has caused the citizens to believe the gods have descended from heaven. Rex is exhausted from yelling and decides to retire and let Kane become king. Magna calms Rex down, who decides to make Kane Viscount of Dorenthal instead. Telestia is furious as Dorenthal's adventurer guild is famously corrupt and it is now Kane's job to deal with them. Seth's wife Lefon discovers him cheating, so he begs Kane for protection. Kane sends him back with Lefon for punishment but worries how he will survive having multiple wives. Arriving in Dorenthal, Kane defeats the entire Adventurers Guild, accidentally destroys the training arena, gets himself arrested, makes an enemy of the church by demanding they lower taxes, and builds himself a mansion even larger than Esfort's royal palace. Having really gone too far this time, Kane is loudly lectured by absolutely everybody all at once.